Tokens of Affection was first commissioned in 1985 by Northern Studio Theatre under the direction of Annie Castledine, who had a commitment to supporting new work by women writers. With the generous backing of Yorkshire Arts, Northern Studio workshopped the play and subsequently rehearsed and toured an initial version in the north of England. A year later, a rewrite was commissioned by Hampstead Theatre but not produced. In 1990, this new published version was produced at Derby Playhouse, brilliantly directed once again by Annie Castledine, whose faith in the play was unwavering. Set in a centre for the containment of violent or maladjusted girls, this often witty and disarmingly charming play is also extremely hard-hitting, full of energy whilst at the same time addressing the futility of government social care programmes, which, theoretically a good idea, never manifested as anything other than a holding pen. Seen through the eyes of a new social care professional, Gillian, the detention centre is a place of chaos and struggle with no real sense of what it's trying to achieve, apart from keeping the girls off the streets during the day and sending them home to whatever social care they had been deposited to at night. The small glimmers of hope come from the humour and wit intrinsic in the play's younger characters, as even though almost broken by circumstances, their resilience is astounding. I first worked with Annie Castledine in a final year production at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama in 1983, and from that moment up until her death, she remained both a close friend and a mentor. I was fortunate enough to be cast as Debbie in the first professional version of Tokens of Affection in its published form at Derby Playhouse. It was an extraordinary production and one that remains very close to my heart. I always believed my relationship with this play wasn't over on the closing night of Derby, and I presumed that maybe in the future I might get the chance to play one of the older characters. However, 10 years ago, I discovered vocational teaching and directing and gave up acting entirely, as I was finding much more creative freedom and expression in my newfound career. When I left my full-time position as head of acting at Arts Ed, I completed my master's degree in text and performance from Birkbeck and decided to go freelance. And one of the first things I did was contact Maureen Laurence as the holder of the rights of Tokens of Affection, and of course the writer, and asked whether she would be happy for me to mount a production of her play. She was more than happy to give me permission, and as soon as I got that permission, I began in earnest to start the financial planning for a small-scale off-West End production.